Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a bit of a serious topic. I'm doing this. It's completely different to what I usually do. I just wanted to sit down and tell you guys about my experience on how I became a mortgage owner. I wanted to give you guys a few tips and tricks on how to become a mortgage owner and a house owner. But first, I just want to give you a backstory. So, if you don't know, my name is Rihanna, also known as Rihanna Louise. I currently work for the NHS as a Band 4 assistant practitioner, which is also known as a physio assistant. I've been working in healthcare for nearly 3 years, up and coming 3 years. I studied my bachelor's degree for 4 years in sport and exercise science, and I got a 2-1. I then did my master's for a year in sports rehab and I got a pass. So yeah, I have a bachelor's and I have a master's, and someone took the chance on me in the NHS, and I've been working in the NHS ever since. So I started as a Band 3 for 2 years, and then I progressed to a Band 4 in my third year. So I'm still a Band 4. I also worked for Whiteley football team, the women's first team, for 2 seasons, and then obviously this house came and I couldn't actually work for them anymore, so I left that. But hopefully when things settle, I can go back into football because I do miss it and it was great money. But yeah, that's a bit of a backstory about me. Let's get into the process of buying a house, because this is the fun stuff. This is the bits that I wish someone told me when we were buying. Hopefully this video can help you guys. Obviously when we went through the process, there was bits that we didn't really know and people had to talk through it with us, and I'm just basically giving you my experience and what we did, and hopefully this can help you guys purchase your first property. Number one, first you just need to figure out what your non-negotiables were. I remember me and my partner sat down for literally a week and we would talk every day about what we wanted in a house. Originally I wanted a detached house, but realistically that's gonna cost hundreds of thousands. So our non-negotiables was, we wanted a house, it needed to be freehold, it needed to have 3 bedrooms, I wanted spotlights in the house, I wanted a garden. We have cars, I'm not going to say how many, but we own cars, so we wanted a driveway, we wanted the cars off the road, because that was something that we were struggling with when we was renting prior. So I also wanted a house that wasn't open plan. I cannot stand open plan houses. I wanted every room separate. I wanted the living room separate from the kitchen, the dining room separate. I wanted everything quite modern in the house as well. Step 2, you just have to have your deposit ready. I'm not going to go too much into the deposit because everyone's deposit is going to be different. What I would say is make sure that you have savings, make sure that you have your help to buy, your license, anything that can help contribute to you putting towards a house. So those are the 3 things: savings, help to buys, and license. I don't think they do the help to buys anymore, so if you do have your help to buy, just make sure you have that on hand. I'm kind of going to talk about this a little bit, but when we were using our help to buys and our license, you could only use 2 accounts. Anything more than 2 accounts, then you had to pay extra on it. So I think what I did was I sent the money into my partner's account, so it only came out of 2 accounts. The money had to be moved around, because if it was more than 3 accounts, you'd have to pay extra on that 3rd account for that money to be transferred as a deposit, if that makes sense. I need to clarify that. Let me clarify that and then I can insert it down the bottom if that's right. Step 3 is looking for houses. So we were looking for a house for over 3 years. We were just constantly searching. Obviously we had our non-negotiables, so we filtered the searches. The main apps that we used was Rightmove and Zoopla. Those were the 2 that we were looking at. Every day, just search for houses, filter the searches, depending on how much you want to pay for the property, how much bedrooms you want, if it has a garden, literally filter it to the T with your non-negotiables. And that will filter all the houses that you don't want to the houses that you potentially want to buy. Step 4 is having a mortgage in principle. I didn't know this. So basically, I went onto every banking society. I went on to NatWest, I went on to Nationwide, Barclays, Lloyds, Santander. I literally did every single one of their mortgage in principle, and it's not until we got our mortgage advisor, she told us that basically you only need to do one. If you're going to do a mortgage in principle, try and do it nationwide, because they're the hardest one to get, and if you can get nationwide, you know for a fact that you can get anyone. So yeah, make sure you have a mortgage in principle. I'm also going to backtrack. So I'm going to put a picture here. So prior to us purchasing our house, prior to us saving, I had a book. It was called a money book. I still have it, didn't finish it. That book was a step-to-step guide on the process on how to purchase your first property, how to save, how to, like, what to expect. It listed everything in that book. So if before buying a house, please purchase that book and actually read through the step-to-step guide. What I also want to say is, backtracking again, please do your research. I'm going to insert the links below it in my description bar of videos that I watched. I watched this woman's video. She worked for the NHS and she broke down how much she earns a month and how much she saved in order to purchase her first property. I also watched Patricia Bright. I watched her videos, and there was another video, but I will link it all below. But do your research, watch videos on YouTube, and it will literally tell you step by step how to purchase a property. Step 5 is getting a mortgage advisor. So we were lucky enough, we had 2 advisors. One was a close friend of my mum's, and the other one was a family friend. So we didn't actually pay for our mortgage advisor, which we were lucky and were so blessed that we didn't have to pay that. So Malika, you was amazing. Oh my gosh, you were just so helpful in many ways. But yeah, the mortgage advisor rates range from £499. That is the standard fee for a mortgage advisor. And what a mortgage advisor actually does is they are up to date with all the mortgage rates, and they will let you know what is the best rate that's on the market. They will let you know, literally they just advise you on everything. They just talk you through the whole process, and they just make it a lot easier for you. So some of the things that the mortgage advisor requests for, sorry, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone because I can't remember it from the top of my head. So one of the things that the mortgage advisor checks for is they do a credit check. Now, they look at your pay slips, they look at your income, they look at your bank statements, they look at any bills that's in your name, they look at your expenses, your credit cards, everything, your credit score. So when they do their checks, they look at 6 months of your pay slip, 6 months of your bank statements, 3 months of any bills that's in your name. What I would advise in this stage is, if you have a credit card, make sure that you are not increasing that limit, because that could have an effect on you putting in an application for a mortgage. With your bank statements, just make sure that it's all clear. Make sure that you're not spending money on stupid things, that you're not gambling, you're not entering competitions. You just need your account to be clear. Make it look like you're spending your money quite wisely, you're not spending it on stupid things. Make sure that there's no lump sum of money coming out. To be transparent, one thing that flagged up on my bank statement was I had a HMRC payment coming out every month. And what happened was, basically she asked me to explain what happened there. And what happened was, in my last job, they wasn't paying my tax right. So when I left the job, I had a massive tax bill. So when we were actually applying for the mortgage, I only had 2 more payments left of the HMRC. So that was fine. But you just need to explain like what's coming out of your account. So that's one thing that flagged up on my account. The bills in your name. So prior to this, we were renting. So we had bills in our names. I think if you're living at home, it's going to be completely different. So try and get like a phone bill that's in your name. Try and get, I don't know, just any letter that comes in your name. For us, we had to provide like a council tax statement, can't remember, electricity bill, phone bill, and something else, I can't remember. The next step is viewing properties. Now, we viewed a range of properties. We viewed properties that was being auctioned. We viewed properties in London, out of London, flats, houses, bungalows, everything, just so we can have an idea of what we're looking for in a property. And when I say what we're looking for, I'm talking about like the structures of the building, what to expect if there's cracks, like just looking at the natural, you know. What I could say is a lot of the houses that we viewed is quite weird. A lot of the London houses had the bathroom off the kitchen. So you have the hallway, the living room, the kitchen, and then there's bathroom on the end. And then upstairs would just be bedrooms. And I realized a lot of the houses were structured like that. And I did not, again, it goes back to my non-negotiables. I did not want a house like that, because imagine if I had a guest and I have to walk through the guest to go to the bathroom and then walk back. That is a disaster in the making. So yeah, that was a no from me. But being able to view these properties, it made me actually like look at properties more in depth. Like there was stuff that I was noticing that I didn't really notice before. So like pipe work, where the water's coming from, what the area was like. This property, obviously we viewed it and we absolutely loved it. And that's me going on to the next step, which is putting an offer in. So we put an offer in with the estate agent, and I remember they declined it at first because they wanted our mortgage in principle. And the reason why they said that is because the last person that went to buy this house, their mortgage, their offer fell through. And I think because they were in a chain, so their offer fell through. So with the owners of this house, they wanted to make sure that whoever was buying this property was serious, and they didn't want to waste any time because they had another house waiting for them, but obviously they had to sell this house first, so they were in a chain, which was odd, because when we applied online it said they wasn't in a chain, but that's a story for a different day. So yeah, we had to submit a mortgage in principle to them, and then our offer got accepted. I can't remember how long, a few weeks from us putting the offer in, that our offer got accepted. So that was that. After your offer gets accepted, you have to do an ID check. Now, this bit threw me off a bit because they asked for like our passports, so they can have it in their system. And I was ready to just go down there and give them the passports. Wanted it digitally. Is that even a word? Digitally. They wanted it digital. So we had to send it over to them, but they charged us £50 to send off 2 IDs, which was crazy to me because I was like, boy, I could actually drive down there and do it for free. But anyway, we had to pay the £50 to get our ID sent. Once the IDs went through, this is the point when we had to look for solicitors. So we was talking to our mortgage advisor, and she gave us I think it was a link she gave us of like how to like get solicitors. I can't remember, but it was a link and it had all the different solicitors on it. Obviously we went through it for about 2 days, and we found someone that we absolutely like. The reviews were really good, so we just went with them. We chose MUVE solicitors. They were so helpful, honestly. MUVE solicitors, they also had a portal where you can actually see the progress of your application, so you can see like literally everything that's going on, every conversation that they have with the estate agents, everything was on the portal. So you can literally check it every day and you can see how far you are in the process. So that's one thing that I liked with MUVE, because with a lot of the other solicitors, you couldn't check your process. And I think that would have just had me on the edge. Like I would be going crazy. Hands down the best. Great communication. If I ever needed them, I can literally call them and they can answer. It was just a great service throughout. MUVE has a refer a friend scheme where you can save £100 on your conveyancing legal fees. Enter our email below on their website to get money off. After we've obtained the solicitors, we then viewed the property again. And I must emphasize on this, I don't care how many times you view that property, view it again and again and again, because you're gonna notice some things that you didn't notice on the first time. And I think it is a bit overwhelming when you have your time slot, because you're very like, oh my gosh, you're so excited, you're in the emotions, that you're seeing the house for what it is, but you're not actually looking deep within. View the property as many times as you like. We viewed it 3 times. We viewed it before we put the offer in, we viewed it after we put the offer in, we viewed it after we had the, what was it called? After we had the surveyors in. So when you're viewing the property as well, make sure you're viewing the property with a family member, bring a family member, bring a builder, bring everyone. So then the experts can actually look at the structure of the house. Which brings me on to my next point, is getting a surveyor. I can't even remember what the surveyor was called, but we got a really good surveyor. There's 2 different types of surveyors you can do. So you can do a half check or you can do a full check. Obviously, we were buying this property as a freehold, which means we own the whole property and the land. So we just said, let's just do the full check. Let's know the ins and outs of what we're buying. So we did the full surveyor, which was £2,300. Again, this was for the full check of the house. So they check the brickwork, they check if there's any structural damages inside and outside, they check the bloody chimney, they check the garden, they check it all. It's all in depth. They check the attic, they check the walls to see if there's any mold, they check the flooring, they check it all. Anything that's dangerous in the house, anything that could be potentially dangerous, they check it all. So we did that. And then after the surveyors, again, we viewed the property again. After the surveyors, obviously we're still with the mortgage broker at this point. So this is where we're getting the mortgage in place. She breaks down all the different rates to us. And at the time we went with, can I say this? I want to be transparent as I can. The next bit is your mortgage product. So originally we were with a different mortgage company, can I say? Let's just call it co-op mortgages. We was with co-op mortgages and something happened within the process. Oh, that's what happened. So basically we applied for co-op mortgages and the rates went down. So I think our rate was high when we applied and then the rates went down. So we asked to change the mortgage deal. So then our monthly payments would be less than what we originally put in. They said yes. And then I remember we were waiting for weeks and I was like, we haven't got the new mortgage yet. What happened was they refunded us and didn't tell us. So obviously the estate agent was waiting for the mortgage. But it never came through because they cancelled it on their end. And at that point I was like, yeah, I don't trust them. So we went with someone else. Let's call it Santander. We went with Santander. So you have a mortgage product and you have to pay up front. I can't remember how much we paid up front, but there's a product fee. And this is the point where they give you a few options. Your mortgage product can either be 3 years or 5 years. So we chose to do 3 years because the mortgage rates will go down. And we didn't want to be stuck in the deal for 5 years. And then if the rates went down further, we couldn't apply for the new mortgage product until the 5 years were over, if that makes sense. So obviously we stuck with the 3-year product. So after 3 years, if the rates go down, we can apply for a cheaper rate, if that makes sense. Okay, so after purchasing your mortgage product, we then go in to mortgage pack, which gets sent to your house. So you have a mortgage pack which gets sent to your house. On this mortgage pack, it requires 2 witness signatures. Now these 2 witnesses, it cannot be a family member, it cannot be like in-law, it has to be someone separate from your family. So for example, your witnesses can be a godparent, your witnesses can be a friend. So yeah, you just need 2 signatures and witnesses so they can witness you purchasing this property. Next is going through the inventory list. So the owners gave us an inventory list, and that stated what was staying in the property and what was being removed from the property. With purchasing this house that we got, obviously there was stuff that the owners didn't want to bring with them, so they actually left all their white goods including their washing machine, dishwasher, microwave, oven, cooker, stove, fridge and freezer. Am I leaving anything off? No. So that's all the white goods they decided to leave behind. And then obviously there was like potted plants, lampshades, what are they called? I'm looking at it. Blinds. All of this was included in our inventory. And that's one thing you need to check. Do not be afraid to like speak to the owners or speak to the estate agents and request for certain things to stay. There was a few things that I requested to stay, but obviously due to like personal reasons, they didn't want to leave it behind, but fair enough. But this is the point where you can actually negotiate what you want to keep in the house. So for us, I was happy with the potted plants. I was happy with, they actually left a table in the garden. I'm happy with that. It's only a small table. But yeah, the blinds, obviously there's blinds in every single room and they're fitted to the window. So they decided to leave these behind. There was like the carpet on the stairs. There was like a shoe cupboard. All of that was in the inventory. And then I would actually tick through to see what was missing. And then I'll send it back to the estate agent and be like, actually, this wasn't put on the inventory. Can you put it? And they would update it. So yeah, go through your inventory, decide what you want to keep in the house, what you want removed, and just negotiate with the owners of what you want to keep in the house, if that makes sense. Next is getting building insurance. Now, building insurance is compulsory. You have to have building insurance before you move into the house and before you get your keys. We were liaising with the estate agent and we managed to get our completion date. So we got our building insurance literally the day before we were to complete. So I think we pay £11.75 a month for our building insurance. It's quite cheap. So yeah, just make sure that you have your building insurance in place before you complete. Next is completion day. This is the point where you get your keys to your property. Oh my gosh. So I remember we were waiting all day. I've actually got a video up which is titled We Bought a House, and that is the completion day. So I'm kind of backtracking, but yeah, that is the day we got our keys. So we were actually in Essex buying furniture. I'm not even going to talk too much. You guys can watch that vlog. But we were buying furniture for the house, and completion day is literally the day where the owners are moving out of the house, and it takes a few hours for them to just clear everything, give the keys to the estate agent, and you get the keys to your house. This is the exciting bit. We decided to keep it private, so it was just me and my partner that collected the keys from the estate agent. We came to the house and we just took it all in, like, this is our home. Can you believe it? And then later on we had family members come round just to view the house, and it was just like the best day ever. It just felt so real. Just to have the keys in your hand and to finally be a homeowner is the best feeling in the world. Obviously the whole process in itself is so time consuming, it's so draining, it's a long process. So I think originally they told us that we would complete in 3 months. That didn't happen. I think it took a total of 6 to 7 months for us to from us applying to us completing. Took about 6 to 7 months. I want to say 6 months. It took 6 months, which isn't bad because I was seeing people on TikTok that took way longer than what we did. So yeah, we just had a smooth and easy process, and yeah, this is just a little rundown of the process of buying a house. So I wish that someone actually sat down with me and actually spoke about the process, but because it's still like fresh in my head, I wanted to give you guys the information that I learned and to provide it to you. So when you are in the process of getting a house, or if you're in that process right now, you can watch this video and actually see step by step on what to expect, so you're not shocked with figures. Just make sure that you have money on the side, not just for your deposit, but also for the like solicitors fees, the surveyors, to send your ID, yeah, just additional money on the side. It has been an amazing process. We have been in this house for like 4 months now, and it's just been amazing. So yeah, as you can see, I'm so happy. I hope you guys have the best journey in getting your first property, and if I can do it, you can do it too. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys can take away something from this video. I think in the next video I will talk about like removal vans and everything else. We'll keep it short and sweet today, but in another video I'll give you all the ins and outs. That's if you guys want that video. If you do, comment down below. I hope you guys like, comment and subscribe, and please, oh my gosh, so I am on a journey of getting all my platforms on to 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 followers. So if you guys haven't followed my accounts on Instagram, on TikTok, please. So on my Instagram, my @ is Rihanna Hewitt. On TikTok, my @ is Rihanna Louise. On YouTube, my @ is Rihanna Louise. So yeah, I'm on a road to 1K. I'm trying to get all my platforms onto 1K. So if you haven't already, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.